Baba Wisdom Story, Part 1, Long Version. In a quiet village, far away from the noise of cities, lived an old Baba. No one knew where he came from. No one knew his real name. People simply called him the Silent Baba. He sat every day under the same old tree, near the dusty road that led out of the village. From sunrise till sunset, he stayed there, calm, still, and silent. He did not beg. He did not preach. He did not argue. Most villagers ignored him. Some laughed and said, "He does nothing. He is useless." Others whispered, "He is strange. Maybe he is hiding something." Children mocked him. Adults avoided him. But the Baba never reacted. His eyes were peaceful. His face carried no anger, no pride, no fear. One afternoon, a young man named Zaid passed by the Baba. Zaid was educated, confident, and proud of his intelligence. He stopped in front of the Baba and said mockingly, "Old man, you sit here every day doing nothing. What have you learned from life?" The Baba slowly opened his eyes. He looked at Zaid, not with judgment, not with ego, but with deep calm. After a long pause, the Baba spoke just one sentence. "Noise makes people feel important. Silence makes them understand life." Zaid laughed loudly. "That's it. That's your wisdom," he said. "You could have stayed silent for that." He walked away, still laughing. But that night, something strange happened. Zaid lay in his bed, staring at the ceiling. His phone was beside him. His room was quiet. Yet his mind was loud. The Baba's words echoed again and again. Silence makes them understand life. Zaid tried to sleep, but he couldn't. For the first time, he noticed how tired his mind was. How noisy his thoughts were. How restless his heart felt. The next morning, without telling anyone, Zaid returned to the tree. The Baba was already there. Sitting. Silent. Peaceful. Zaid stood for a moment. Then, without saying a word, he sat down beside the Baba. Minutes passed. No words were spoken. But something inside Zaid began to change. For the first time in years, he wasn't trying to prove anything. He wasn't trying to win an argument. He wasn't trying to impress anyone. He was just present. The Baba smiled softly, still without speaking. And Zaid realized something powerful. Some lessons are not taught by words. They are felt in silence. This was only the beginning. Zaid returned to the tree the next day. Then the next. And then many days after that. At first, he came with curiosity. Later, he came with questions. Eventually, he came without any reason at all. The Baba never asked him who he was. Never asked what he wanted. Never asked why he came. Days passed in silence. One evening, as the sun dipped low and painted the sky in orange and gold, Zaid finally spoke. "Baba," he said quietly, "people say you are wise. But you never teach. You never speak. How can silence teach anyone?" The Baba picked up a small dry leaf from the ground. He placed it on his open palm. "Look at this leaf," he said. Zaid looked, confused. "When the wind is loud," the Baba continued, "the leaf has no choice. It moves where the wind pushes it." He gently blew on the leaf, and it slipped off his hand. "But when there is no wind," he said, closing his fist, "the leaf stays." Zaid frowned. "I don't understand." The Baba smiled softly. "Most people live like that leaf," he said. "Moved by anger. Pushed by fear. Pulled by desire." He paused. "Silence removes the wind." That night, Zaid felt something heavy settle in his chest. He realized how often his emotions controlled him. How easily people's words shook him. How loudly his ego demanded attention. The next day, villagers noticed a change. Zaid spoke less. Listened more. Some mocked him. "You've become like that Silent Baba," they laughed. Zaid did not argue. Weeks later, a problem shook the village. The well that supplied water began to dry. People panicked. Arguments broke out. Blame spread quickly. Zaid watched it all. Then he went to the Baba. "Everyone is afraid," Zaid said. "They are fighting. What should we do?" The Baba looked at the empty sky. "Fear spreads fastest when minds are noisy," he said. "Calm one heart, and others will follow." Zaid didn't fully understand, but he trusted the Baba. Instead of shouting, Zaid began listening to people. He spoke calmly. He slowed the chaos. Something strange happened. Others began calming down too. Old men shared forgotten knowledge. Young men worked together. A solution slowly formed. The well was saved. That night, Zaid realized something powerful. The Baba never fixed the problem. He fixed the minds. And in doing so, everything else followed. Zaid returned to the tree with new respect. "Baba," he asked, "why do you live like this? No wealth. No name. No recognition." The Baba looked at the horizon. "When you stop chasing," he said, "life starts giving." Zaid felt a quiet fear. If this was true, then everything he believed before was wrong. And this wisdom was only beginning. As weeks passed, the village began to change. People noticed. Arguments became fewer. Listening became easier. Anger no longer ruled every conversation. And at the center of this quiet change was Zaid. But not everyone was happy. Some men felt uncomfortable. They had always been loud, always in control, always followed. Now people were listening to silence instead. One evening, a group of villagers gathered near the tree. "This Baba is dangerous," one man whispered. "He is changing people without saying anything." Another added, "He makes us question ourselves. That is not good." Fear dressed itself as suspicion. The next morning, the Baba did not come to the tree. Zaid waited. Minutes passed. Then hours. For the first time, the Baba was absent. Zaid felt an unfamiliar fear rise inside him. He searched the village. At the edge of the fields, he found the Baba. Sitting alone. Head lowered. Eyes closed. "Baba," Zaid said urgently. "People are turning against you. They say you should leave." The Baba opened his eyes slowly. "I know," he said. Zaid felt anger. "Why don't you defend yourself?" he asked. "Why don't you explain the truth?" The Baba picked up a handful of dust and let it fall through his fingers. "When the wind blows," he said calmly, "dust rises. If you fight it, you breathe it in." He looked at Zaid. "But if you wait, the dust settles." That night, rumors spread faster. People said the Baba was cursed. That he controlled minds. That he would bring misfortune. Fear demanded action. At dawn, villagers came with sticks and harsh words. Zaid stood in front of the Baba. His heart pounded. This was the test. To speak, or to stay silent. To fight, or to trust. The Baba placed a hand on Zaid's shoulder. "Let them pass," he whispered. The crowd surrounded them. But before anyone could speak, something unexpected happened. An old woman stepped forward. Then another. Then another. One by one, people who had changed, who had found peace, stood silently. No shouting. No fighting. Just presence. The crowd slowed. Voices faded. The anger had no fuel. One man dropped his stick. Another turned away. Within minutes, the crowd dissolved. The Baba never spoke. Yet the lesson was clear. Truth does not need defense. Ego does. Zaid's hands trembled. He finally understood. Wisdom is not loud. It does not chase approval. It waits. That evening, Zaid asked quietly, "Baba, will you ever leave?" The Baba smiled faintly. "All teachers leave," he said. "When the student no longer needs words." Zaid felt his chest tighten. He wasn't ready. But deep inside, he knew the hardest lesson was still ahead. The next morning, the tree stood empty. The Baba did not come. Zaid waited. The sun climbed higher. The road remained silent. For the first time since he met the Baba, Zaid felt truly alone. He searched the village, the fields, the road beyond the tree. Nothing. The Baba was gone. Days passed. People asked questions. Where is the Baba? Why did he leave? Will he come back? Zaid said nothing. But inside, something had changed. He remembered the Baba's words. All teachers leave when the student no longer needs words. Zaid began living differently. He spoke less. He listened more. He reacted slowly. When people argued, he remained calm. When fear spread, he brought stillness. And slowly, people noticed. Not the Baba this time, but Zaid. One evening, a young boy sat beside Zaid under the same tree. "Why do you sit here silently?" the boy asked. Zaid smiled gently. He did not answer immediately. The wind passed. The leaves rustled. Then Zaid said softly, "Because silence teaches what noise hides." The boy nodded, though he didn't fully understand. And Zaid realized something profound. The Baba never wanted followers. He wanted mirrors. He didn't leave wisdom behind. He turned people into it. Zaid looked at the empty road one last time. The Baba was gone. But his lesson remained. Not in words. Not in sermons. But in lives. And that was enough.